Nobody or nothing is worth it, justified or not. The only person we're hurting is ourselves, okay? So self-regulation, getting your autonomic nervous system back into balance and homeostasis, is going to require then breaking the addiction to those emotions, and those emotions that are driving certain behaviors and thoughts that cause a person in an instant to say, I want to be healthy, I want to live for a long period of time, and then they go back to making the same choice because they return to the same emotion, and now they're back in the past. And
it's like you're fighting against what you really want, what you say you want,
right,
by living in this
because
past
you've
emotion.
got 95% programmed working against 5% of your conscious mind that's saying, okay, have the intention, and you could say, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy, I'm immortal, whatever.
Abundant,
yeah, and your body's saying, dude, you're miserable.
Right.
Dude, that thought never makes it past the brainstem to the body, because that's not consistent with the emotion of the body, because we only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts equal to our emotional state. We never accept and believe or surrender to any thoughts that are not equal to our emotional state.
Wow. Can you say that one more time so people can fully understand that?
We only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to our emotional state. We'll never accept, believe, and surrender any thoughts that are not equal to your emotional state. So you could say, I'm abundant, I'm eternal, I'll live forever, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. And if you're programmed your body into that emotional state, it's going to say, you're not that.
It doesn't believe
miserable.
it. It doesn't believe it.
It only accepts the thoughts of suffering and misery because it's equal to that emotional state. So then here's the fundamental question. Okay, take a person whose identity is resentment.
Yes.
And their identity is anger and frustration and betrayal. And you ask them, why are you this way? And they'll say, I'm this way because of this event that happened to me 15 years ago. Stronger the emotion we feel from some event, the more altered we feel inside of us, the more that chemical continuity is disrupted from something that surprises us, that alters our state, the more the brain freezes a frame and takes a snapshot. That's called a memory, right? But the problem is that we think about that event over and over again after it happens. We're producing the same chemistry in the brain and body as if the event was occurring. And so the body is conditioned literally into the past. So
we're living in the past.
So a person says, so you say the person's resentful about everything. They're seeing their life through the lens of resentment and frustration and anger, and everything's upsetting them. Well, that's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You say, okay, now it's an addiction, you got to change that. And the person goes, oh, okay, that makes sense. And now that you got to get out of the bleachers on the playing field and say, okay, these emotions could literally have something to do with my health. Just saying, if I stop feeling these emotions, what if I start feeling these emotions? Okay, what would be the emotions that would make me happy? These emotions are making me feel really bad. The memories are making me feel really bad. Can I remember a future?